Today I'm gonna be making potato chorizo, and so what I want to do is infuse the chorizo into the potato, and I scalloped right here. I'm gonna make a little bit more with the scalper. My throat's kind of dry. Been practicing, memorizing my music, and I don't know if y'all do this, but when I make like potato and egg and stuff, I think it's because it's easier in the long haul, but it's easier to turn it into scallop potato. Like if you turn it into scallop potato, it cooks faster. It blends in better with foods. And now there's probably shredded potato that people do, and that's probably way better. Now that I think about it, maybe I wouldn't try like doing it. But the problem is because they're so thin, I'm guessing the same thing with the potato peeler or the grater, is that it'll cook too fast. But we're gonna hit this up with a little bit of we're gonna go avocado oil. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back. I don't need it. So yeah, my throat's just been hurting a little bit. I've been learning how to, not learning, but I've been reciting my tracks, so I can go without the backtrack, kinda. I mean, right now I don't have anything. I lost my PC. I lost, the monitors. I sold it all. Just because I had to. The funniest shit too is that it didn't even make me break even. The person at the freaking pawn shop was like, yeah, I'm gonna say these. So basically, he was like, PC. And I'm like, yes, that's like $900, $1,000. And he was like, cool, we just sold one for like $300. Or no, $500. So I can only offer you half. And I was like, all right, I need the money, so $300, let's do this. Did the 300. Instead of the 300, he gave me 200. He was like, yeah, it was half of half. So half of what I said, plus half of that. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it for like 200 and something. And I was like, damn, that's a great deal. It's a great deal. I paid $1,100, $1,200 for a whole PC, GPU, all that stuff. But that's the way technology goes. Like, it's been like 6 years since I had it, 7 maybe, yeah, probably 10 years. I'm going 9 years, 8 years. And with technology, that's gone. Whatever I made in that payment just diminished instantly. Like, I bought it straight up, and I remember it, The Omen by HP, Hewlett Packard. And anyways, so now I've just been learning my my songs, which I already did know. I'm just practicing them. There's not too many shows. Like, I looked at Eventbrite, and there's not too many shows. Like, I can perform like 3 or 4 songs, maybe 5 if you wanted to. But yeah, I'm really into performing. Let's get you something real quick. I don't want to, but Intense, this the show. Remember my glow, standing like 6 feet under, tippy toe. Bitch like the eighth wonder, you would know. Shocking like touching the water, thunder blow. Greener the grass you should mow. Bitch, don't touch this ass on the pole. My summit on concerts call it mass. All I'm owed, I plummet. Our sponsors call it trash. I've been told we done it. We monsters call it gash. I'm the... We're good. But that was a sample. I'm gonna get chorizo while that, the potatoes. Shout out to a special chorizo. Not that happened. I mean, it's in a bag, so. I was gonna make potato and egg, but I ate that yesterday. Mischievous, troublesome, got it like goddess. Sorry. Mischievous, troublesome, goddess like I'm low, romantic like novels, the broadest whole flow, organic like brothels. Done running circles, I model this trope. Done running circles, I model this trope. I tumbled the hurdles, got clean with this soap. Exhausted of journals. Like I said, I'm still waking up. My throat's hella dry from doing it last night. So we're gonna do potato and chorizo. More than not infused, even though actually it's gonna be infused by the end. Because the chorizo is very thick. That was HET that I just showed you. Currently unemployed. I was homeless for a bit, for a good couple months, but due to my choice, not really my choice. Something happened that made me not want to trust certain people, so I left. I took an opportunity to go driving and make money at the same time, and that was fun. Scary, fun, not scary. Definitely eye changing, or just changing. And yeah, I ran out of gas eventually, but it was like 8 months already. And 9 months. You know, my family decided to help me out. I met a lot of musicians, a lot of artists in Austin. So that's why it was fun. There was so many people that I was driving to their, like, wherever they need to go. And we just rap, I just sing. You know, they'd ask, I'd ask, do you want to play music? And they'd be like, yeah. And I was like, if you ever get a chance, we're gonna play what you want, but if you ever get a chance, check my music out, Sugar Crumbs. And they were like, hell yeah. So they would instantly be like, you know what, just play your stuff. And, I would go hard in the paint. There was a couple rappers that were like, yo, you know how to rap? And I was like, yeah, oh yeah. Dropped them off at shows and stuff like that. Never got invited to the show, but I got invited to jump in the freestyle when people were freestyling. And that was fun. I love freestyling. If you haven't checked out my stuff on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, check it out. Yeah, I tried signing up for a concert, but they're already overbooked. The Lolo Car Show. It's a lowrider show. Yeah, I should have probably checked out the events earlier on Eventbrite. That's the only way I know how to get shows, but from what I can see, there's not a lot of actual shows. There's shows, but they're like family barbecues. They get hosted by like the whole family. And it's like, that's cool, but I'm not family. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just feels weird to do a concert for a family. Like, you would think in the family they had an artist. But that's cool, the offer is cool. I'm looking for 3 to 4 tracks, maybe just open for somebody, anybody. Remember, I'm preferably rap, hip hop. So I'd rather open with like people, you know what I'm saying? That's how potatoes and chorizo look. Still cooking, I have it on a very low setting. Now I'm gonna grab some beans. Now, don't hate me, but I am a bean and cheeser. As in, I love beans and cheese. Now, the reason why I said don't hate me is because I'm using bagged beans. Isadora. These ones are like my life. Discovered at a concert and passed out for free. Not these specific ones, but the first initial ones by my mother. And ever since then, she's been buying these. So, shout out to Isadora. Isadora! But it's weird because, like, you would think that that's, like, Italian. You know what I'm saying? Like, Isadora. Isadora kind of just doesn't sound Spanish. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm going to leave this here, go get my vape real quick. I'll be back. I'll leave it out of the shot. I'll be back real quick. benefit of cooking the potatoes with the chorizo is that, like I said, it's absorbing that liquid. No, I like it like that right there. Nice and cooked, you know, chorizo. Some people like chorizo raw, like not actually, okay, maybe raw. I'm not gonna put that past anybody actually. They probably like, some people like it raw. I like it cooked. We're gonna go even lower right now, just for a second. I like it cooked, just cause like, you know, the fat and stuff like that. Do this. The beans take about like a minute to cook. Not bad. Just microwave them. Or if you want to, you can throw them into the pan directly, which is actually probably what I'm going to do now that I think about it. They're hot already. So yeah. So I'm trying to get a show or an opener event, and I want to make some money in the concert fair. But it's the end of summer, so I suspect that that's why the only shows are like you know, barbecues and stuff like that. But not even like, you know, family stuff. So yeah, 5 minutes, boys spread out all over the floor. The language speaking through the door. I managed them beacon need more. We famished, ran out of wheat to the store. I sandwiched like 3, I'm a whore. I planned this a week and I score. We sanded loose leaves all aboard. We ran at the trains all aboard. We dipped in the water, let it pour. Got caught by the rangers in forest. They told me no strangers I'm torched. Tossing the flagrants on whores. Our bodies coated need mores. Our copies folded need sores. You got me fucked from the porridge. I got it tucked, it'll scorch. The lesson learned in a Porsche, like rivers created with force. The patience to that I endorse. We grew off the tree called the florist. We fucked for the free in the forest. I'll be the park, you the tourist. I'm the water you need nourished. Drop down to my knees for this service. Up out of the ocean I surfaced. I'm growing. They call me the herbalist at 2. I just stare and I murder this. One love for the few, I say floor bitch. One day in the pews, I'm smothered rich. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, I'm stoned for this. I loved it, the herb, I just need a kiss. I loved it, deserved all this naked bliss. I love it, no need to be ominous. 5 minutes, 4, spread out all over the floor. The language speaking through the door. I managed some beacon anymore. I managed some beacon anymore. yeah, I'm staying with family right now. Got reported when I was doing my driving for driving, one, not sober, and two, intoxicated. Those were what people were reporting me for. Now check it out. I would not risk anyone's life while I'm driving, stoned, drunk, anything, you know? And like, it's cool if you can do it, but I was, handling people that I don't know what, their privacy is, what their security is, you know what I'm saying? And what was happening was that I started getting people that were, either getting mad because like I was performing for people, right? I was performing for people, but that was only if they asked to play music and only if they wanted to play music, right? I wasn't gonna force it on somebody who's just quiet, you know what I'm saying? Like super quiet. So like while I was in Austin, it was better than it was in San Antonio. Because in Austin, people were hyped for that shit. They were like, do it, let's go. The rappers, the singers, the EDM producers, like, they were just like, go, I want to hear, let's do this, right? San Antonio is not like that. They're more of just, we're going to listen to our Tejano, we're going to listen to our 90s music. It's family orientated, San Antonio. We party like hell, but it's more like traditional. So it's like traditional culture and like, so it's like the music scene here kind of stays in the 90s. And, you gotta push forward and maybe go to the bars and stuff like that, but I personally don't like getting too fucked up. I will get fucked up as much as I can when I'm paying for it, and when I have the time. Because once again, nobody's not driving me, or nobody's driving me, you know what I'm saying? Fucking sucks. So yeah. Damn, I forgot. I'm already ready to get this on here. So I'm going to get this on a plate and then cook up some tortillas. I accidentally made one too many potatoes yesterday, or I scalloped them. I didn't scallop them. I skinned them yesterday. I skinned the potatoes yesterday, but I overshot it a bit. Padre said, go ahead, just make a bunch. I usually just put them in water, A bunch usually refers to maybe 2 or 3. I made like 7 and 8. I made like 8 to 9, possibly, that I took it too far. I was just like 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato. Oh, more potatoes. Yeah, so that happened. Alright, so that should be good. I'm just going to throw some cheese. Now, it looks like mush. I know it looks like mush. It's not mush. Oh, no, actually, no, it's mush. It's mush. I'm just going to say it's mush. What I like to do is leave the grease on the pan from the chorizo. And what it does, it absorbs onto the tortillas. I think these are H-E-B tortillas fresca. I'm not too sure. They're really good. They're really freaking huge from the package. So when you look at them first, they look massive. Let me show you. Now don't get me wrong, I can make it scratch, I can make it from scratch. I've done it before in my old apartment before I got sick. And You gotta let it rise, you know? Faster and quicker option. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn this back on. We're gonna go half heat. Don't ever say medium low heat. Like, it makes sense, but I was making rice and they said medium low. So I would say low is from 1 to 2. You know what I'm saying? On any oven. And then medium would be 1.5. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how quick low goes on the measurement. I was doing a rice tutorial. Of course, I knew how to make it already, but it's been like a year. So I redid it. And now we have sponge cake, Mexican sponge cake. Because when you let it brown, I like straight up was just moving it, you know, tapping it, moving it left and right. But what I screwed up on is doing this directly down. By doing this, it cut up all the rice. And so we had grained rice instead. Why was I doing that? So it didn't stick to the bottom of the pan. That's pretty much it. Anyways, we got mush and we got so many fucking potatoes. So many fucking potatoes. I need a drink. My throat's like hella dry. So yeah, if you know anybody, if anybody out there hears me, I want to do a show, you know, 3 or 4 songs, you know, I don't want to take the show from the person. So let me know. Let me know. That whole Mexican OT thing with the not saying the N-word, you know, he took one for the Mexican people. Because what was making us look bad was that there were Mexicans, there still are Mexicans out there, Hispanic people, that think it's okay to say the N-word. But when you speak to, you know, a black person, an African-American descent person, they're not saying, you know, the W word. They're not saying, like, you know, spit word. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, what? Like, how do we, you know, benefit off of being able to say that if y'all ain't saying that? You know what I'm saying? Like, respectfully, y'all respect us. Respectively, I respect y'all. But I've always respected people in general. Especially terms like that were used to bring people down. They were used to bring people into ownership. No. No. It's called breaking the cycle. Because when you break the cycle, time moves forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, doing the same things every time is just going to get you every time the same results. Right now, we're not in danger of going to war. We're, you know, pushed for war by other countries. It's not really us wanting to go to war. It's that we're protecting the people where we put our military bases around. So, like, the United States has military bases type shit. And they're all around the world. But the reason why we did that is like, say if somebody attacks Australia, we have a base somewhere near Australia to protect Australia. Not only that, broaden our security as the United States. Because we big, but we're not that big compared to, you know, other stuff like that. Other countries and stuff. So what's happening is that they're going into wars. They're fighting and bickering off of religion. You know what's sad about religion? And I hate y'all, I hate to tell y'all this. most wars right now in other countries are because of people's beliefs. Tell me why. I don't advocate for beliefs. I advocate for facts. Tell me why. Tell me why. You want to know why? Alright, you know what? I'll tell you why. Because the old traditions are the things that are killing the future premonitions, the future promises. And it's true. 100% true, especially in other countries. Third world, second world. Especially. You know, why have bloodshed, right? Blood is real. People dying is real. No pun intended. I know it just sounded like that. People dying for no reason is even realer. But y'all just let it go. Every year. The wars from slow to fast. Every year. The pace. People being gassed. Every year. But y'all want to believe what your parents told you. Because you heard it from the ear. Y'all want to believe that we need fucking fear. But we don't. We need courage to make us endear. We need hope to help us steer. And what y'all try and do is scare and say it's to heal. That's not the deal. That's not real. This right now, my words, you fucking feel. This ain't a fucking show. Like spill. This ain't a fucking movie. Heal. Alright, so back to chorizo and potato. So it's chorizo infused potato with beans. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw some cheese. I'm going to warm it up in the microwave for a quick second. I got some tortillas. I left a comment on somebody's thing, right? Somebody's, it's a skateboarding meme. There's a skateboard. They do the Christ there, right? And that's when you like hold your arms up, grab the board in one hand, and leave the ramp, and you hold it like that, right? It's possible, but you need hella airtime, right? Skateboarding. And, I want to try this so bad. My God. What happened is the potatoes did fry. And they cooked within the chorizo. That juice infused directly into potatoes, blended with the beans. So all of it's like a crunchy, creamy, chorizo flavored, mixture. And it gives you a crunch, which I've never had. Besides in, what is it called? Chicharrones? Chicharrones? Yeah. So it's giving me a crunch, which you never really get Look, let me get this for you. Mmm. Mmm. Oh my. So anyways. Damn, that's good. It went down the throat. It went down the throat. Help! It burns. It's so spicy. So I was in Austin. And I started getting advances on, like, people advancing on me, trying to talk to me, but, like, you know, to get to, you know, hanky-panky or... And the people that I didn't perform for were reporting me for being intoxicated or being drunk when, like I said, everybody's safety was at the first for me. And then, if I didn't accept their advances, if I didn't want to be their... Not that I didn't want to be their friend, but I didn't vibe with them. They reported me as well. Not once was I not sober. Or wait, not once was I, not sober. All I wanted to do was make some money. Because I knew people needed, you know, rides. Like, not saying, oh, I'm helping you. Not saying, oh, this is the hand that I give out. No, it was me just trying to make money as fast as I can by delivering the people to where they need to go as fast as I can, safely. Safely. Always the speed limit. As you can tell from my videos, always the speed limit. Especially when people are in the car. Now, if it's just me, the street says 90, I'm going it. You know, I'm going 95. You know what I'm saying? Because it's legal to go 5 miles over the speed limit. If it's like in the random country, you know, I stick to whatever I can see. But the problem with those apps is that they have a meter that tells you the speed limit, and it matches the ones that you pass up. But, you know, looking away, like, I'm a tourist everywhere I go. So, like, looking away for a second, jamming out, you know, you hit the gas, don't realize that instead of holding it at the right speed, you accidentally pushed forward and kept going, and it just, you know, anyways, yes, sounds like an excuse to me, but I was excited to go to Corpus one day and got pulled over. And I was like, how did that even happen? But it was because when I was entering, I was like, yes, you know, vibing hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I finally made it. And because I did that, I left my foot on the gas. Pushed down a little bit too much when I decided to, you know, do that. And got a ticket. Only thing is, the ticket didn't have a price, they didn't have a day to show up. So, I was just like, what? And then I tried calling the next day, nobody answered. The next, nobody answered. And it's like, I'm not from there. It's impossible to go from there to there. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, they reported me on all fronts. Got me banned on Lyft, got me banned on DoorDash. And like, I don't give a fuck what you do. You know, if you a dealer, you're trapping out the DoorDash, you're trapping out the Lyft, you're trapping out whatever. You do you. But do not let it affect other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. No, that ain't right. That ain't right. Everybody can sign up, right? Everybody can sign up. Everybody can drive. You know, there is enough positions for everybody to drive in Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash. There's enough positions. There should be no reason why you screw over somebody who was homeless, somebody who needed the money to live, to continue on in life. There should be no fucking reason why you came from me. Communities, families, friends of my friends, friends of your friends. There should be no reason why. What the fuck did I do to y'all? They tried hoeing me out. They tried sextorting. They tried everything to get me set up. And it didn't work. The worst I got was tickets. For, parking violations and stuff. Like, yeah, that hindered me. Yeah, you made me pay those tickets. Real funny. But y'all were blaming me for not delivering to the right spot when I would call you, I would text you, I would message you. I would make sure to put my hands out and contact you if the location wasn't correct. Like, say if it was to the front office, the GPS was pointing me there. And it was telling me to drop off, at that location on the GPS. But in the description, it was like, drop off at this apartment, building, blah, 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 right? That's what we're looking for, right? But what it would tell me was to wait in the front and deliver it there, right? But what happened is that I would wait in that spot in the front. And you know what you were doing? I know what y'all were doing. Everybody knows what y'all were doing. And that's cool, but why fuck me over? If you have that in the description, specifically telling me to go to that apartment, go to that building, and then you reported it each and every time it happened. So I waited there in that spot, and what I learned is that nobody comes out. Somebody's too pissed drunk to come all the way over there. And then I waste a whole hour not making money. Right? Right, that's what y'all wanted to see. That's what you wanted to fucking laugh at. That's what y'all wanted to fucking laugh at. Y'all living the life. While I'm over here dying, of course right now, no. But that's because I had help. Just a little bit of help. Y'all fucked me over big time. Whether it's because I don't want to believe what you were saying, because your beliefs were off, shook. Because I didn't want to be friends with you, but not in a personal way. Because we didn't vibe. Because I didn't want to throw on a concert for you. Because you didn't actually like music. Because I didn't accept your advances onto me. A lot of shit happened. A lot of shit happened. Being chorizo potato. I'm getting the cheese. Of course, the freaking towel falls again. What's weird is that I ain't even dressed, you know, swole style or, you know, oh no, no! You know, I didn't dress that bad. I wasn't in shorts, I wasn't naked. I couldn't report anybody because I was so desperate for money. So desperate to get away from situations sometimes that I would just get a call after, or not a call, but get a, you know, a potential customer. And what you have to do is whoever clicks it first gets the ride. My thing was I liked giving anybody a ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to tip $2, I'm going to take it. If you're going to tip $3, I'm going to take it. If you're going to tip 4, you're going to tip 1, I'll take it. Right? Because I was in that same position. I am in that position. And what happened was that I was getting better ratings. I was getting everything I needed, you know, to grow in that, how do you say, that field. I was getting everything because I was helping everybody just as well as helping myself. Just as well. I need cheese for my diet. No joke. And y'all want to do that. Y'all want to do that for people. Nah, no, y'all don't. Y'all just want to. I've heard it a million times from drivers when I was taking Uber and Lyft. I heard it a million times. I would never do that. That's too low of money. Like, no. If it's not a good tip, I don't do it. You know how many times I would be threatened to be fired because I was running late? You know how many times I had to go somewhere but didn't have the option of taking the bus because I just missed the bus? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna get some more drink. I got raped. I got tortured for my sanity. I got, yeah. tried to scare me off of doing my drive. You tried to scare me from being who I am. You sent your thugs. I rapped with them. We freestyled. You sent your killers. I dodged those cars every fucking time. Y'all would crash into me. Y'all would literally hit me. I not once ran into somebody. I not once ran into another car. And I didn't die. Y'all literally sent cars at full speed directly at me every time. If I wasn't paying attention, I would have been dead. You ever just see shit that flashes in your eyes? You ever just see shit like that? I wouldn't be here if I wasn't me. All I wanted to do was save up for a concert, save up for a show, save up for a new PC, save up for something. Because I'm in love with music. I'm in love with people. But my passion, my heart, my life is music. I put the vape away because the smoke goes everywhere. Even when you have it, you know how it lingers for a second? I don't want it to linger. This ain't my house. So if you're asking why I didn't report them, what I didn't know is because I was new to the app. And once you drive past 4 people, so say I grabbed that person did something, I would have to report them right then and there. But I was lost in the country. I didn't know where I was. Dropping some dude off at a rehab clinic, a methadone clinic, in the middle of the night at like 1 o'clock, maybe 12 o'clock. I drove, you know, on a back road, and it captivated me. And I kept driving because I was just confused at the moment from what had happened. And I just kept driving and driving. I didn't care where I was going. Wherever that road was taking me, as long as the thing was, I was kind of low on gas. I knew I would be able to make it somewhere, but I didn't know where that somewhere was. And I didn't want to. I didn't want to know where that somewhere was. Yeah. And so if I took that person and then needed money because I was trying to pay my rent for the car, I took another person eventually. I took multiple people within succession after that. And what I didn't realize was by the time I decided to report, which was the next day or like the day and a half that it took me to process what happened, it stacked up 4 people in the most recent. And that's all you can see. And the only way you can report is if they're on that list. So let's eat this. It's a little bit crunchy, I'm not gonna lie. I waited for it to. I'm strong. And I hope y'all do too. Yeah, y'all be strong too, you know? Thing was, I am friendly, right? I am friendly. But if you come at me wrong for no reason, why am I supposed to be friendly to you? You know, even if it, like, if it was a joke, that'd be funny. But it wasn't. You generally wanted to tell me certain things. So I would either get A, pissed off, and make the red uncomfortable, which never happened, because once again, I kept that shit professional. Anything y'all said, anything y'all did, I was like the fucking Secret Service out here type shit. You forget that I can see what you're attempting to do, so I'm not going to do what you want me to do. You get it? Because that was the way you were going to get me banned. But because you couldn't do that, you still reported me either way. No, I got the hiccups. I told the world everything that happened before this. Exif is more of my rant, is more of my not really hate speech, but my facts that I put out there. Sugar Crumbs is me, Exif is me. But Exif, it's not a personality. What it is to control my music being tainted by my attitude, by my jokes, by my thoughts. And Sugar Crumbs is used strictly for music, for poetry. Because that's me. 100%. There you go. Thank you. The cops didn't just try setting me up. The people didn't try setting me up. They didn't try. Or no, the cops did try setting me up. The people tried setting me up. Everybody tried sextorting, like I said, robbing, doing everything to me. Intimidation. Everything. To kill my vibe. As Kendrick said, bitch don't kill my vibe. Bitch don't kill my vibe. I can see your energy from 2 planets away. I got my drink, I got my Hennessy. And I don't gotta pay. I know I remixed it there, but when I was driving that person, everything happened. Something clicked that he was, which it happened on other people too, that's why I got reported, because I denied the extra stop for no reason and unpaid, or like paid, as in like, I'm gonna add a stop and you're gonna take us that way. But just say you took us that way and dropped me off here. Nah. Some people needed to go to the grocery store, forgot their cards, forgot, something, so we had to go back. So I'd help them out with that. You know what I'm saying? If they added the stop, then that's a benefit for me. But if it's literally right around, like, the corner back, and we didn't go that far, I'm going to drive you, older ladies, people with kids, stuff like that. Like, that's cool, you need help with your laundry to pull out, I'll pull out the laundry. So as I was dropping him off, he added a stop. And I don't know if it was to confuse me or what, but he added a stop. The stop was for more money than what I got to take him there. And then he told me, I'm just going to add the stop. All like sly, and I was like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it, because I knew that was an exception of money for prostitution that I was being forced into on accident. As soon as I canceled that stop, so I made the money, right, off of the first stop, but the second stop, I canceled it. I said I couldn't do it on the app, right? As soon as I canceled that next stop that was offered by him, unbeknownst to me, because it just popped up while he was sitting in the back, he did that. Unbeknownst to me. I canceled that stop And we're talking immediately. As soon as I canceled that stop, a cop right next to us on the same fucking access road off of the freeway just drove off. We're talking blended in with the night in front of me. Lights on eventually. And I finally saw them. And they just drove off. I didn't see any cops that night. In that area or anywhere else around. Thanks. You're letting me sit in parking lots to be sketchy so that I get busted. For what? For what? For trying to help you. Y'all make it seem sketchy. For what? I was just trying to help you. Y'all disrespected me, y'all. Yeah, damaged the car, you know. Y'all were doing shit that was so immature that it just made me think, like, is this how everybody is? Is this how everybody thinks? Excuse me. No, I have a couple things to do today. Hopefully you'll hear them soon. Thanks for tuning in.